YouTube, what is good? Benny Matthews here. Thanks for checking out the channel, man. Locka Gang, where you at? Locka Gang, Locka Gang. Go ahead and leave the lock emoji in the comment box down below. And do me a favor, guys. Definitely don't forget to hit that like button, because in today's video, I'm explaining to you guys how I was able to reverse the process of my locks falling out. Let's be real. My locks didn't really fall out, but my locks were definitely thinning, and that's exactly, I'm gonna explain to you guys how I was able to, seize the moment and actually help myself get out of that process of me losing my dreadlocks. And with all that being said, man, let's go ahead and roll the intro. Don't forget to hit the like button. Let's get into it. Welcome back to the video, everybody. If you don't already know, my name is Benny Matthews, and let's get right into the video. So 2 years ago, 2019, two tragic things happened into my life. Okay, one thing happened was me and my son's mother at the time broke up, and to me, I took that very hard. We was together for a long time. We were living together, and at the time, I thought that was, the worst thing in the world. So I took it as the worst thing in the world. I let myself get into a spiraling hole of just depression. But along with that, the day after that, something very tragic happened in my family. So those two things together, at the time, I thought, wow, like, this is really happening to me. This is crazy, because you would never think that, something like so bad and so horrific can happen to your life. But, it's all about perception. At the time, I thought this was the worst thing in the world. Now, because of that, of course, 2 years later, those two things were, I'm not gonna say they were the greatest thing in my life, but those two things promoted growth and change in my life. But I'm gonna talk about that later on. So because of those two things, I was depressed, and the main thing was I was stressed. I was stressed. My whole life was stressful. The idea of my future wasn't there no more. The plans that I had for my life, was thrown out the window. And then the incident that happened to my family, it was weighing a lot on me. I was going through a lot of emotions, a lot of feelings that I just thought that I couldn't, handle at the time. So because of that, the results were, I started stressing out. So my locks started to thin out, and I started noticing that, especially with my loctician at the time. Now, at the time, you guys know my locks were a lot longer. I can make a video about why I cut off my locks, but at the time, my locks were very long. So my locks just started thinning out of nowhere, and I was getting very frustrated, and I was very mad, and it got to the point where, I was kind of blaming everybody else, but I wasn't holding myself accountable. I was blaming my loctician, which is why, we don't, I guess I don't go to her anymore, because at the end of the day, it wasn't her fault, but I guess she took it as it was her fault. It is what it is. But, I had to ask myself, and I had to realize, and I was like, yo, what's really going on? Like, what can I do? How can I be proactive? Like, how can I prevent my locks from thinning out? And I did three things. Three things helped me out to reverse that process, okay? First thing, was for me to get, out of that negative mindset that I was going through. Like, yes, I was stressed. Yes, I was depressed. But I started to understand, like, we are the creators of our reality, So even though those things happened to me, the breakup and my family issue, it doesn't mean that I have to walk around sad all the time. I don't have to be depressed all the time, I can choose the way how I want to live. And yea, though those things happen, doesn't mean that I have to let those things haunt me all the time, So, the first thing I did was, I got connected to myself. That's when I had my a spiritual awakening. And that's when I realized, all right, these things that happened to me, they're happening to me for a reason. And once I had the opportunity to get my mind out of that thinking process that I had, so, back in the day, because it was just so negative, and it was just so, when I think about myself now, I'm just like, man, you really did grow, man, because, in those certain scenarios, people can go a different way, but I'm ranting, but what I'm trying to say was I changed my mindset, and once I started changing my mindset, the stress that I had, definitely went out the window. And so the first thing I definitely did was, yes, I realized, like, you know what, man, me being stressed out is definitely, you know, creating so much gray hairs in my head. Like, look at this, man, I have too many gray hairs, and then at the same time my locks were thinning. So the first thing I definitely did was, I stopped stressing. You know, I understand that, things are the way they are because, the higher above, God, that's how he ordained it, or, that's just the way that it is. That's just how life is. So you just have to flow with life, You can't try to, knock it off. You can't try to fight it, man. You just gotta flow. So that was the definitely first thing. Now the second thing I did was, right before me and my loctician, went our separate ways, she recommended a product, and I'm like, nah, man. At the time, I was like, I'm already doing my dreadhead videos. I know what I'm talking about. But at the time, man, it was just like, I was desperate, man. I was like, yo, give me something, and I found a product, and she gave me the product, and she was like, yo, man, like, because she did hair, and she said, yo, a lot of people who use her product, that certain product that I'm about to tell you guys, she said, like, yo, man, she said nothing but amazing results. So, the curious guy that I am, of course, I went out my way and I did my own research. And before I let you guys know this product, man, understand that, like, what works for me may not work for you, but for this product itself, man, I just wanted to try anything. And the product is called a Kaleidoscope, and I actually have it right here. So let me show you guys. Focus. It's Kaleidoscope. Now, I hope you guys can see that. Let me get it closer. Let me get my. Now with this product right here, man, it'll cost you a pretty penny. It cost me about $25 from Target, and I was like, yo, man, this better be worth it. And to be honest, looking back at it now, it worked. It definitely worked 100%. This is actually like my third bottle that I've used. And I was losing a lot of hair, in my head top, right here, right, especially my crown. I was losing a lot of hair there, and I was like, it has to be stress, man, because even though that my edges were kind of like skinnier than my head, and then the rest of the locks that's on my head top, there's no way that I should be thinning. My locks should be thinning. Granted, like, yes, my locks were a lot longer and heavy, but I was only thinning out in that certain area, so I knew it had to be an issue. It had to be that stress. But this definitely did the job, and like I said, it was $25, and I'm the type of guy, like, yo, before I invest into something, like, I have to do my research, because I'm very curious, because I want to know exactly, how's this gonna, promote some hair growth. And the key ingredient, definitely, it has a tea tree oil, and tea tree oil helps promote blood flow in your scalp. And it allows your scalp to be open to more nutrients. So, once I seen that, I was like, bet. So, in the direction it says, like, take 3 to 5 times a week, and I did exactly that. And I didn't really start seeing improvement until I cut off my locks. Now, after I cut off my locks, that's when I was able to see, like, yo, man, it seems like my locks got a whole different type of pattern. Like, it was a lot thicker now, and I was like, what is going on? Now, you guys know I cut off my locks last year. So between 2019 to now 2021, it's been a whole year since I started using this product, and I cut off my locks. And when I cut off my locks, I was like, yo, my locks feel like they're a lot thicker now. And I was like, yo, what could it be? And I was thinking to myself, I was like, I haven't done anything different. You guys know, my routine for my locks is very simple. I use water, castor oil, and I wrap my hair up in a bonnet at night. That's it. That's really all I do. But then I was saying to myself, I was like, I'm using Kaleidoscope. Like, I forgot all about it because it was just in my routine. I was just using this every day. And, it had to been like, yo, the elimination of the stress, and then me using this product. And then the third thing that I really realized too was, since I wasn't depressed no more, I was, I was choosing better habits, I was eating more healthier. I was drinking more water. So it's definitely like, yo, you are what you consume, you are what you eat. So, the elimination of stress and the Kaleidoscope, and the, me eating better foods definitely helped me reverse my thinning lock process into the locks that I have right now. And the locks that I have right now, man, I'm proud of it. I'm very proud of it, and I try to get you guys to understand, man. Anytime there's a problem with your locks, like, you can fix it. It's going to take time. but that doesn't mean that you should cut off your locks all the way. You know, like we're always gonna have problems in our lives, but you know, if we start becoming more proactive and start doing our due diligence and actually started doing more research into like how we can prevent these things, or actually how we can maintain a healthier lifestyle, especially with our lock journey, man, anything is possible, man. So, you know, I just wanted to, you know, share that story with you guys, you know, because it was definitely a point in my life when I used to see things in one way, but then I just changed my mindset and I was like, you know what? I don't have to live that way. I don't have to think that way. Let's go to this way. And I started doing more with my locks, and that's when I started creating more videos about my locks. And it was just like a journey for myself. So with all that being said, man, I wanted to share that story with you guys. This is definitely not a sponsored video. I'm not affiliated with nobody, but I just wanted you guys to know exactly what worked for me. If you want to know the exact same product, I'll leave it down in the description below. You can definitely buy it and see if it works for you, man. If you're going through the same problems that I used to go through. So with all that being said, guys, my name is Benny Matthews. Go ahead and hit that like button. And to the next video, guys, I'm out.